So our partner Jordan Sheridan over with Status Quo has been on the ground. He was at a strike recently by students at Rutgers University demanding better pay, among other things. And he asked Gen Z about their view of America, about their view of the American dream. He didn't ask all of Gen Z, some representatives of that generation. And the response is quite interesting. Take a listen to it.
In the next 10 years, factory jobs, truck drivers, all these simpler jobs will be automated. And then we're going to have more and more problems. Automation is going to kill a lot of these jobs. The market is dying, and we're on the verge of a recession. I'm just kind of waiting at this point. We're not going to be able to buy a house.
American dream. I honestly believe that the American dream is dead for our generation, frankly. Our purchasing power is some of the lowest in history compared to prior generations, compared to millennials, compared to baby boomers and Gen X. Our purchasing power is some of the lowest combined with some of the highest costs of living ever.
So fears about technology, American dream is dead. I won't be able to buy a house. And they made a number of comments about how, their parents, their grandparents, for Gen Z, they're like, they were able to achieve these things. I have no hope of that in my lifetime.
So the only thing I would disagree with him is he was like talking about truck drivers. I don't think truck drivers will be irrelevant in 5 years, but I do think, unfortunately, a lot of the white collar jobs that college graduates are doing may be a lot more irrelevant than truck driving. I've been hearing about truck driving for a long time. Now with ChatGPT, and though it seems like what really is under threat is Business Insider journalism entry students. So that's the only place I would quibble. But look, I hear this all the time, from people who are my age, from who are younger. A vast majority of our audience is either millennial or Gen Z. So we see the things that resonate the most. Housing. I told you I've been on this kick ever since I did that Dave Ramsey monologue of just listening to these like horrific calls of people who are like, I have $600,000 in student debt. I have $1 million. They're all my age or younger who have $1 million. Can you imagine having $1 million in student debt? And it's one of those where like, yeah, he makes $250,000, but like it's after tax and all that's going to take him 10 years or so to pay that off. If that's the only thing that he does.
And these are like the lucky people.
Yeah, these are the lucky ones.
The ones who quote unquote did the right things and made it, who are in this position. And yeah, you go try to buy a house in any major metro area, forget about it. Unless you have the whole cash down payment from your parents or, another source, you're gonna be priced out of that market. And I think what was stunning to me is the awareness and recognition that these two individuals had, but just how much things were stacked against them. That is a real indictment of our society. I mean, the thing that you always hoped is that like your kids would have it better than you. And for most of American history, that has been the case, where it's just like continued upward trajectory. You can expect more leisure time. You can expect, a better house. You can expect a better education. You can expect better healthcare. No longer the case. And if you think that's not going to dramatically upend our politics as millennials and now Gen Z come into power, into voting age, into increasing political awareness, you got your eyes closed, because this is a real reckoning set to happen. People are not just going to sit back and accept this. This is why you already see the bubblings of, the Starbucks workers movement, the Amazon workers movement. You see them taking matters into their own hands. And, I think in some ways, you see Gen Z, they're super woke and they're into all this identity stuff. But you also see some throwbacks to an older type of material politics, which was really ascendant in America at a time when people couldn't take for granted some of the basics of like food, shelter, clothing, healthcare, et cetera, that a couple generations now have been able to basically take advantage of. So yeah, it's going to change everything.
I think 10 years from now, when 40-year-olds have never had a house, have no assets, and are still in debt, I think that's when things are really going to be weird. Because that's when you're going to have almost a majority of the country who is both had no upward mobility for their entire adult lives and are now on the bad side of middle age whenever you look at life expectancy tables. That's, if there is a flippening, I think it'll come sometime around that. Not being able to have kids, not being able to buy a house, having zero assets, having no retirement, knowing Social Security may not work out for you, or at the very least it's not going to tide you over for the next 20 or so years. What do you do in that situation? That's when I think things will get weird.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.